Hi, I'm Mihata, and this is my Grim Reaper, the necromancer that uses only scythes. My main idea for this playthrough was to use the crafted caster scythes that BTDiablo allows to be created, although in the end it turned out that my best in slot weapon was something else. I hope you stay tuned until the end to see what it was. So at level 6 I was finally able to equip the normal scythe that I got. I got pretty nice Rakanishu map in Stony Fields, so I farmed Rakanishu quite a lot. I was like level 19 when I got to Andariel. I got my perfect amethyst in Act 2 and crafted my first caster scythe. It turned out that it requires minimum level 28, so I was a bit disappointed. In Act 4 he fast to dropped my first soul rune, pretty generous. Then my Hellforge provided an aim rune, another pretty good result. In the Chaos Sanctuary was my first death, where Infector of Souls completely obliterated me. Next was Diablo. Basically I had no fire resist, so I bought this 2 open socket helm and inserted 2 Ral runes in it for some fire resist. Then everything went back to normal and I was able to finish normal. In Nightmare difficulty at Bloodraven I noticed something a bit odd. I did not know I can get Ogre Axe at this level. I was level 42 and this was my weapon, a caster scythe with 3 open socket that I hoped to insert facets with resists into it. Next stop was Duriel, who decided to drop a pair of leather gloves, the Death gloves. So Death is another set that is improved in BTDiablo, and it looks viable to make a playthrough with the whole set. Act 3 in Nightmare greeted me with a really bad map. The town is over here, so I went all the way up to the 6th tile that was connected, and then the 6th tile was connected to Great Marsh. Over here starts the Great Marsh. Then I went all the way to the 6th tile of the Great Marsh, which was linked to Flare Jungle over here. Then I started going backwards. Flare Jungle. Here is the town, is the waypoint in Flare Jungle. Then I continued going down, 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 down. And here I am finally to the Giblin and the village. After I brushed myself off of that map, I rolled some Grand Charms and rolled a skiller for my Necromancer. It was summoning skills. The game was trying to tell me something. The Nightmare Hellforge was also pretty generous. I got a Lem room, so I made a treachery for myself and my mercenary, and I was more or less done with the resists until the end of this run. Very interesting death in the throne room. Hit by 2 fireballs from these. I got a pull rune in the Rostone Keep when I was farming level a bit. Another skiller after that, this time Javelin skiller. And 13 hours and 30 minutes in, I was ready for Insanity. This is what you can expect until the rest of this playthrough. Bomb prisons everywhere, and I'm trying to kill a few monsters so I can corpse explode their bodies. Like with Andariel. Absolutely same thing. My new best worst place is Arcane Sanctuary. I had a lot of save and exit cases because of these rats. They were pretty quick. They went through my bomb prison. I couldn't do much, just save and exit. So I had to do something different. This approach was not playing out for me. So I respect into a summoner. I had a skiller for that build after all. So I put a lot of points in the summoning, got my bodyguards, and went back into Arcane Sanctuary. I even crafted a Hustle Scythe so I can buff my minions, my bodyguards. And this went okay. If you're wondering, this is a 4th weight summoner. With this gang, Duriel was just a breeze. I was staying in the corner less than a minute and I was done. The problem with this build was that I had to run in front of the group so I can gather the monsters, then go get a bit back so the minions can catch up with me. So I found this pretty tedious. I was quite optimistic for my Travincal run, so I even equipped a Magic Find potion that disappears on death, so I expected first run success over here. Next was Hellforge, which this time disappointed, only a rune. The Diablo fight was pretty fun. I equipped my Magic Find gear, I equipped my potion, I lowered my resists, and I immediately died. In Act 5, the game decided to give me something back for that Diablo death, and it was my second pull rune. After a while, I gave up on the summoning build. It was a bit boring. I did not enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the Bonemancer, so I respect back into bone skills and continued my way forward. After the Nightmare Act 3 map, I have to brag about this Glacial Trail map. Just left from the entrance and I was there. On stream, I fought the Ancients, and Talik was the toughest one as he was getting through my bone prison without any problems. Although I managed to get through the Ancients without a death, which was pretty surprising. I expected a lot more problems here. And we get to the Worldstone Chamber in Hell difficulty, where the biggest problem, as with the most of this run, was my survivability. So I was able to defeat Baal in just 21 hours and 30 minutes. So, this is my Scythes-only Necromancer at level 81 gear. Insight. At the beginning I had forgotten, I did not take into account that Insight provides 35% faster cast rate, so at some point I figured that this is the best in slot weapon for me. Lore, faster cast rate, gloves with fire res, stealth for the faster run walk and faster cast rate. I have treachery on my mercenary, and with it my resists are pretty nice, so I could run without a smoke and hit the higher faster cast rate breakpoint. Faster cast rate belt with res, faster run walk, mana, more resists, even more resists, and the charms are life, res, a little magic find. Skills, mostly the bone skills: bone spirit, bone spear, bone prism, bone wall, and lastly the rest of the points in teeth. Nothing into summoning, and I just put 1 point into amplified damage, so I can apply higher damage when I corpse explode, but for the majority of my run I was forgetting to do that. So how I find this run: it was a bit tedious, like I had to cover the area with bone prisons, and I don't really enjoy that. I'm glad I finished this one. Act 5 was a real struggle. there were a lot of open areas and monsters coming from all directions. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have an idea for another challenging, interesting playthrough, please let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.